Hey guys, I really want to try and get out in words something that the Lord's showing me. In the scriptures we can read that it says, all who are led by the Spirit of God are sons of God. You know, and that's not something that has to do with our intellectual understanding. It far surpasses our intellect. In fact, back when Adam and Eve ate of the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, they died. The Lord said, if you partake of this fruit, you will surely die. But they didn't fall dead right there. No. The death that they died that day was that of the Spirit. You see, God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And back then with Adam and Eve, the fellowship they had with God was in spirit and in truth. But they died that day because they partook. They willfully entered into sin. And for us to have fellowship again with the Lord is to be made new, to be reborn in spirit and in truth. The truth is, the reality is that all those who are led by the Spirit of God, who have been reborn and now are spiritually alive, they are sons and daughters of God. That's it, guys. That is it. Unfortunately, in today's world, there are so many who say that the grace of God is where the life of God is. The grace of God is the evidence of their salvation. The grace of God is the evidence of their new birth. And so they tout and they boast of the grace of God, yet they continue to partake in their sins. But they look at their understanding of what the grace of God is, and they say that it covers their iniquities, it covers their shortcomings, it covers all that is not holy and pure in their lives. And so they look at the grace of God as the power and the source by which they are saved. You guys, that's not true. You see, for those few who are in fact born of spirit and in truth have fellowship with Jesus and the Father, it is those who are truly in the family of God. But for those who think that through grace and grace alone, that grace is the source and the power and the reason for their salvation, that grace is the example, the get out of jail free card, they're wrong. Jesus, when speaking to Paul, said, my grace is sufficient. Many people take that on as saying his grace, the grace that is available to us through Christ, is sufficient for us to trample on the blood of Jesus Christ. No. The grace of God is sufficient to show to those who might see, who are looking, that apart from the life of Christ in them, they are lost. The grace of God is the stayed hand of the Father coming down to judge those who are in sin. The grace of God is that which prevents the wrath of the Lord to come down and judge those who are lost in sin. The grace of God is sufficient because it holds back the flood of judgment, if you will, to those who are in sin. And for those who will look up and see the hand of God stayed, held in the air, prevented from coming down and justly judging those who are willfully sinning, and they see that the grace of God is in fact a chance of salvation, and they run, they go, they cry out to the Lord for truth and strength, the new life, the life that qualifies them worthy, the life that brings them into a spiritual relationship with the Lord. When we come into a spiritual relationship and have life through Christ, then we are in truth alive. Don't mock the grace of God. Don't consider the grace of God an opportunity to trample on the blood of Jesus. Seek the Lord and His truth. Don't seek the Lord just for a way out of judgment, but seek the Lord for a way of new life. I love you guys. God bless.